If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Louse on the Road subscribers and followers. One of the most common questions that I get since the history of this YouTube channel for the last year is why we don't have solar panels. It's a very good question. I'm not opposed to having solar panels. I just don't feel like it's right for us at the time. People send me links to other YouTube RVers who use solar panels, trying to, encourage me to get solar panels. To be clear, I've had solar panels in the past. I put them on my house, I think back in 2004, when really they were not very popular yet, and they were very expensive. I installed them myself. They were a lot of work to maintain. On a hot day when the sun is really shining, when those solar panels get up to a certain temperature, they don't charge as well. So you're always out there spraying water on them to keep them cool. Well, all the money I was saving on the solar panels from not having to use regular electricity, I was using on spraying water because it was city water. The other thing, like I said, they were very expensive. And I think I had them for 8 years or so. And I don't think they ever actually paid off. They really never made enough electric to pay off what I, had paid for them. Of course, nowadays they're cheaper, I get it, and they would pay off pretty quickly. But when it would snow, I would have to, get up there and clean them off. And that was the days that you really, like I said, it was sunny, hot day, you'd have to spray them off, and you really want to get a good charge. Well, on snow days it was the same thing because you get all that reflection from the snow. But you would have to climb up on the roof and get the snow off. They really did cause me a lot of stress. They really did, because I wanted them to pay off relatively quickly, and they didn't. Missouri doesn't have a lot of sunshine, apparently. I would have to charge the batteries with a regular battery charger quite frequently because it was always cloudy. Now, if you're out in the desert, I get it. They're probably a great thing to have. You've got sunshine all the time. It's great. But out here in the National Forest, look behind me. This is basically what it's like over here on the east side of the United States in National Forest. It's very shady. Now, I recognize there's some sun right there, but that is not very typical. The other thing is we're not even in National Forest right now. We're in Army Corps of Engineers. So you just don't get a lot of sunshine. As a result of all this, I'd still have to have a generator because the solar panels are not going to provide me enough power with all the shadowing. So now not only do I got solar panels that I got to store and maintain and deal with, I still have to have the generator. So it's weight. Now, I've talked about weight all the time, the weight in the truck and limited storage space. So when we're traveling, I'd have to store the solar panels or I'd have to store the generator. It's actually an inconvenience to us to have this extra item that I don't think is going to be a huge payoff being out here. A lot of people will suggest, well, put them on the roof if you're worried about the storage. Put them on the roof of the camper. Now I would have to move the truck around if I wanted to charge the batteries. Let's say I had 100 watts. If I want to get 100 watts out of that sun right there, I would have to move the truck around all the time. So now I'm wasting gas because every time you start the truck up, you expend more gas. And you're not even supposed to start the truck up without it warming up the temperature. And then everybody will say, well, get the kind that you can move around. You're seeing some pictures here where the sun is actually a pretty far distance away from the truck. So I'd have to have this long cable, and I would have to approach on somebody else's campground to be able to use solar. So again, it's not like it's that easy. It's not as easy as it is over there in Arizona where there's lots of sun all the time. This is a difficult thing, and I would still have to have the generator. That's the point I'm trying to make. I recognize that as a Nomad, our power consumption is very large. We do use a lot of power. We try to power a AC 3.2 cubic feet refrigerator that also has a freezer. And the reason we feel like this thing is very important to us, especially the new one we have with the freezer, is we can store meat for 2 weeks. We can stay the limit at the campsite before we have to move on. So we're saving all that gas having to drive back and forth to town, which is substantial. It's about, if I recall, the last campsite we were at, it would have cost us $8 basically to go to town to get food. Well, the generator just does not use that much gas. So it was cheaper to make sure that we had that free refrigerator to stock that much food. We also have to get on the internet. Now, a lot of nomads use their phone for internet. We use our truck. Our truck has OnStar, long story, but in order to do that, I got to have the key on, which means I got to charge the battery on the truck. The solar panels just wouldn't be able to keep up with that, where the generator has no problem. Finally, we have our computers that we have to run a lot because I have to edit these YouTube videos. So it takes we use a lot of electricity that solar panels just wouldn't be able to keep up with. So even if we were in Arizona, we would still have to have the generator to supplement the solar, or the supplement what the solar couldn't charge. I think that having the generator is just much more convenient than having the solar panels. Having to go out there and move that solar panel around all day long, it'd be all I would ever do. I never would get to enjoy my adventure because I'd be here worried about the solar panels being moved around. I wouldn't be able to go for long walks. Carolyn and I went for a 4-hour walk yesterday. You know, imagine all the solar I would have missed because it got, the sun moved and my panels are now in the shade. Where with the generator, I can start it up, run it for a couple hours, shut it off, and not have to worry about it again until the evening time. Being this is my home, I also want my home to have some conveniences, and the generator happens to do that. Now, finally, in the stick and brick, you don't go outside to have to move your solar panels around. You get electricity from the power company. And that's how I kind of look at my generator, is it's the power company. I only have to deal with it, real briefly, a couple times a day, and then it's over with. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Just like in the house. Now, in the house, our electric bill was, it was up there in $100, $110 a month. So it was kind of high. Here, our electric bill, we've gotten it down to about 30 bucks now. We save a lot of money if you look at it from leaving the stick and brick to living a nomadic life. We save quite a bit in electric costs. So that's the reasons we don't have solar panels yet. So I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.